Central Valley communities host a disproportionate share of toxic waste industries, and residents here struggle to improve some of the worst air and water quality in the United States. In Kettleman City, in 1993, Spanish-speaking Latino farm workers banded together to defeat a proposed toxic waste incinerator in their community. They formed People for Clean Air and Water, which continues to work today to help residents defeat expansion of toxic waste facilities near their community.
So that we can participate. Well, a lot of the women would like to.
Maricela Mares Alatorre was raised by an activist, Mary Lou Mares, a mother who fought for environmental justice. Maricela and her son, Miguel Alatorre Jr., are active in organizations that develop leadership, education, and outreach among adults and youth in the community. And yet, there are questions that cannot be answered about the health hazards of living among toxics in the air, the water, and in the ground. In Kettleman City, there's a cluster of developmental disabilities in the community that just can't be explained.
Mi niño nació en mayo
My son was born in May
del año pasado.
of last year.
Mi embarazo iba bien.
My pregnancy was going along just fine.
Yo me cuidaba bien.
I was taking care of myself.
Me alimentaba.
I was eating right.
No tomo.
I do not drink alcohol.
No uso drogas.
I do not use drugs.
No fumo.
I do not smoke.
Mara's son, Emmanuel, was born with a cleft palate and without full development of his jaw, nose, and a part of his brain. His eyes were set unusually fall apart. He has had surgeries, but he will need more. Other infants in the community with these type of problems have died, so she lives with this uncertainty.
I was also very afraid that my son will also die. And that's what I request of you, as a favor, to please help us with your backing, with your support in our struggle. And God bless you.
Her child was born with cleft palate. Unfortunately, he wasn't counted by the EPA because they were just in our town last month, and they told us that from 2002 to 2005, there was only 2 cleft palate births in Kettleman City, which is pretty normal because the ratio is 1 to 1,000. Unfortunately, in the past year alone, we had 5 children born with cleft palate, and we are a city of 1,000.
Was one day there was an event.
Que se hace para los abuelos.
It's an event for grandparents
En las escuelas.
at the schools.
Estaba yo allí
I was there
cuando hubo un accidente.
when there was an accident.
Estaban rociando el pesticida al pie
They were spraying pesticides
en pleno 10:30 de la mañana,
at 10:30 in the morning
sin ningún cuidado,
without any precautions,
ni siquiera avisaron.
without any notifications.
Los maestros ni siquiera se dieron
The
cuenta
teachers were not even aware
que esto estaba pasando.
that was happening.
Algunos niños empezaron a enfermar,
Some children became ill,
ellos no se daban cuenta por qué.
and they did not know why.
Porque nadie avisaba que se iba a
Because
rociar
there was
pesticidas.
no notification that they were going to spray pesticides.
Sunnyside school incident is something that really pushed the protection zone forward, the protection zone campaign. For years we had been working on protection zones in Tulare County through the...
In 1999, when community activist Teresa de Anda watched her neighbors get violently ill after exposure to aerial pesticides, she helped found El Comité para Bienestar de Early Mart to provide education and emergency information to the area residents. In Plainview, after an incident at the school, community volunteers collected evidence that aerial pesticide spraying was hazardous to residents.
To be in our bodies, and these are the levels that were around in Lindsay and in Plainview. And down here we have the level for women and the level for men. As you see again, there's that black line, and that's the level allowed by the EPA standards.
Their advocacy led a county agricultural commissioner to create a buffer zone, a breakthrough protection for residents of Tulare County. This win bolstered activists and has become a model for the nation.
Finally, on January 1st, 2008, the Tulare County Ag Commissioner told us that we had won our protection zone. And what it is that airplanes cannot come in within a quarter mile of towns, schools, or other sensitive sites. And they cannot spray restricted pesticides within the quarter mile.
Se tiene que decir
Now they send a paper that must notify
que ese día se va a
that on
estrellar.
that day there's going to be spraying.
Los rancheros, después de esto,
After this, the farmers,
ellos vienen a avisar que se va a estrellar
they
ese
come
día.
and notify that there's going to be spraying on that day.
Sí se puede. Un aplauso.
Community organizations can point to tremendous successes gained through new partnerships with government and public policy organizations.
And we're dealing with communities who don't know how to access resources within philanthropy, who know what they need in their communities but have no idea that there's money out there to be had, and rely on intermediary organizations to help them access.
In the future, reducing the health threats posed by airborne poisons and toxins in groundwater will require a landmark commitment of public will, along with unprecedented public and private investments in these Central Valley communities. This is not only our hope, this is our duty.
My ultimate reason for doing this funder tour was because I wanted people to come and meet these amazing people and fall in love with the Central Valley the way that I feel I've fallen in love with these amazing women who remind me of why I get up and do this work every day.
La gallina con el cara, 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 cara. Los polluelos con el pío, 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 pío.